Hello everyone, and welcome again to another FL Studio tutorial from beatsfromlegends.com. So on this one we're gonna talk about using your MIDI keyboard to record. It can be a keyboard or it can be, a drum pad. I got a Nectar Impact LX25 Plus. That's what I'm gonna be using to record some notes. We're just gonna do a simple drum loop, show you guys how that goes. So my MIDI controller, my Nectar MIDI controller is disconnected right now. So we're just going to connect that. I want to show you something here. If you go to MIDI settings, it doesn't, never mind the rest of the things that you're seeing there. When I connect up my MIDI controller, you see it appearing here in your output. Now you just got to make sure it's enabled for input. Don't worry about output. Input's where it's at. So my Impact LX25 Plus is enabled. Make sure that's selected. And when you do that, you're ready to go. Now we're going to do a drum loop. We'll do four percussion elements, I guess you could call them. I want to do different samples, something other than the default ones. So we'll go with some trap kicks. I'll replace that kick with the trap kick. I'll replace that hat with the trap hat. You just gotta drag and drop, real simple. That's one of them old school trap snares. And we'll do that. So we got a clap. Now my MIDI controller is connected right now. So press it. That's what happens. It's on C5. So if you're using a keyboard, if you select C5, that will trigger whatever input you've selected. So that's a clap. It's a bit loud. So bring that down. That's a hat. And we've got a snare here. Cool. So what I'm going to do is we'll keep it at 130 BPM. And we'll select the metronome. I want to make sure the metronome's not too loud, so the metronome goes to channel 20. We'll cover that in another tutorial, but I'm gonna make sure that's selected. Now, if you want to record, you just basically press the record button, press that, and then you press play. You just got to make sure, if you right click, you just make sure notes is selected so it records notes. And so we're going to start with the snare. Here we go. Oh, also make sure your countdown is selected, otherwise it won't give you time to record. And you make sure it's selected to 2 bars to give you basically 8 counts before it starts recording. So here we go. Cool. So if you notice with this one, a lot of the hits don't actually fall directly on the lines that we're aiming for. Sometimes you want it that way, but for this one, now we're just going to quantize everything. Quantize means just making sure it's right on the grid, and a quick way to do that is just Shift and Q. So I believe, most of those just fall on the grid, except for this one. This one's over here. I'd rather it be there. You'll know where it goes from experience. I'll make that less loud, and then next we're going to record the kicks. and it's going to count us in again. Let's go. Cool. And then we're going to quantize that as well. To quantize it, you just go to the piano roll, the shift plus Q, and then we'll do what the hats. Same thing. It's going to count us in. Cool. Just going to fill up the hats, nice and simple. We'll try to make this fall on the grid just for simplicity, although in reality sometimes you just want it to be loose, but yeah, we're not going to really get into that on this tutorial. And then this is the clap sound. I want to put that somewhere. Okay, so maybe we'll make the clap double up with the snare. Let's see. It's going to count us in. Cool. And we're going to quantize that one as well. I'm just going to scan through, see if it all falls where it's supposed to. Alright, so this is very basic. Now we're going to turn off the metronome, and that's our pattern. Let's just see what it sounds like without the metronome. So that's just something real basic there. To start off with, you can do an entire track that way. Just build it layer by layer. You can also, record multiple instruments at the same time, so you can have your kick and your snare, and if you're that good at finger drumming. But we're not gonna go into that as well. But the more you can do at once, the faster your track will get finished. So that's how you use a MIDI controller. Obviously, FL Studio is really good with that. You can just plug and play most of the time. I'm going to keep it simple for this tutorial. As the tutorials keep coming out, we're going to get more advanced as we go along. So thank you for watching. See you on the next one.